checking the daily crypto news. So we'll start with Bitcoin here. And I guess over here we can start with the crypto total market cap. It has dropped since the crash a couple days ago. Let me go here onto the daily. After this huge crash, it did do a nice pump. It got people's hopes up, and it's still above that bottom close, but did drop down a bit. Yeah, about 3% compared to Bitcoin, where it dropped. Here's the daily. Huge liquidation here. Came up about 4%, back down about 2%, which isn't too bad, but everything still looks bullish. Nothing too crazy. And then Ethereum here had a lot bigger jump here. Dropped down from here. Honestly, this whole came down about 14%, came up about 13%, and it's only back down a bit, so still room to go up. So we can get into some Twitter news. Here we can start with Bitcoin treasury companies now hold 100 or 1.02 million BTC worth $117 billion. That's huge. Top 5 companies here on the side here. You can see MicroStrategy with 640,000 Bitcoin, followed by Mara Holdings with 52.85 thousand BTC, XXI with 43.5 thousand, MetaPlanet with 30.8 thousand, and Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company with 30,000 Bitcoin. We can see also here the quarterly Bitcoin holdings have been going up. You can see here it starts at basically zero, and that's in Q1. This starts in Q1 of 2020, which the quarterly Bitcoins are basically zero. Going from that to now, we've boomed all the way up to 176, almost 177,000 Bitcoin. And now here, obviously, we're in last updated was Q3 of 2025. Q4 should be even bigger with all the inflows on ETFs and everything. But yeah, total holdings, and here, total value of Bitcoin holdings is $117 billion. Huge news in crypto. Let's find some more. Kenya goes crypto. You'll just see, we're seeing, honestly, daily, weekly, more countries are getting into crypto and opening funds and letting their citizens use crypto as payments for stuff and using them for investments, which is huge. Less than a month away from Amsterdam. Bitcoin Amsterdam. If anyone's going there, drop a comment. Maybe we'll see you guys there. Here, Treasury Secretary Besant optimistic about China and their communications with them. Obviously, China a huge player in the crypto space. We can see here. We'll continue. There is this here. The biggest Bitcoin salesman to Wall Street is now selling crypto. Larry Fink got institutions comfortable saying Bitcoin. Now he's talking about tokenizing everything. Real estate, stocks, bonds, and ETFs. This isn't This isn't just bullish for Bitcoin. It's a massive catalyst for the next wave. ETH, Sol, Link, and the blockchains that could be powered tokenizing markets. He sold Wall Street on Bitcoin. Now he's selling. Let's see here. Let's watch this here. Let me turn on my speaker here.
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities to bonds across the board. There's $4.1 trillion of money in sitting globally in digital wallets. A lot of that money is outside the United States. If we could tokenize an ETF, digitize an ETF, we could have investors who are just beginning to, invest in markets through, let's say, crypto. They're investing in it, but now we can get them into the more traditional long-term retirement products. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next 10 years, as we start focusing and moving away from traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner, and then having people stay in that digital ecosystem. I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities to bonds across the board. There's $4.1 trillion of money in sitting globally in digital wallets. A lot of that money is outside the United States.
Okay, sorry, I was fixing that. So yeah, Larry Fink, huge in the crypto world. He's been pushing Bitcoin mainstream. Now, telling people is now selling crypto. We'll see how Q4 is gonna go, but we can continue down here. Crypto bill is out. Here, this is what we were talking about last live. The Retirement Investment Choice Act is a law that will make Trump's rule official. It allows people to include cryptocurrency and private equity in their 401k retirement plans. This is huge. Almost everyone if we're just counting obviously the US, everyone has a 401k retirement plans that invest basically just into mainly safe assets like index funds and stuff. But now, slowly but surely, people will be using their retirement funds to buy Bitcoin and crypto in general, which is huge. This opens the floodgates to anybody buying Bitcoin for the future, and this just reinforces it. People are buying Bitcoin and keeping it just for their future, and they'll start slowly seeing that Bitcoin will outperform the S&P over the 30 or 40 years that you have your that you have your RRSP or 401k retirement plans. It'll just continue. China. Oh yeah. Also, this is what we were talking about last time. China Merchants Bank has officially tokenized $3.8 billion on BNB chain. China is very bullish on BNB. CZ has been doing everything right. Honestly, BNB has been booming. Let's check that chart actually. BNB, yeah, you can see here after like continually setting all-time. This is the daily chart. Continually setting all-time highs all year. After the drop, after everything dropped a couple days ago, you can see. Wait, on the daily here. Yeah, it basically the next day it basically recovered the whole move. It is back down a little bit. It did set a new all-time high afterwards, but yeah, it is back down almost 10%, but still over that initial drop. Okay, let's see what else is happening in the market. Here we can see here. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says their Bitcoin ETF has reached $100 billion in 2 years. IBIT is the fastest growing ETF in history. Obviously, IBIT being the biggest of the assets of the ETFs, the Bitcoin ETFs. If you see the inflow of ETFs, IBIT is more than half. Obviously, there are other big assets, but mainly obviously BlackRock controlling it. Everyone who is investing in ETFs are mainly going through IBIT. Let's see what he has to say.
Our Bitcoin IBIT is now over $100 billion.
$100 billion. I know. Not that long ago.
And 2 years ago, zero.
Yeah.
So
I know. Well, you weren't always a huge proponent of crypto, as I know.
Yeah, but
love it now.
But I grow and learn.
I heard you say that on 60 Minutes.
I did say that. You know,
Yeah, obviously. He's learned to embrace crypto. Almost everyone was against crypto a couple of years ago. Then BlackRock comes out with their ETF in just 2 years. It has just now reached $100 billion in 2 years. Everyone's bullish on Bitcoin, and it's just going to continue to grow. This is why I tell everybody, if you don't own Bitcoin, what are you doing? It's just continuing. If people are going to start using them for their 401ks, you might as well be buying. Here, we'll continue. Here's another source. CEO Larry Fink announced IBIT ETF 100 billion milestone. The U.S. government now holds 327,000 Bitcoin, making it the second largest Bitcoin holder in the world. Let's see what that list is. Top Bitcoin holders in the world. Countries. Bitcoin holdings of countries here. This one here says, well, you can't really see, but maybe it's not updated. But yeah, USA is number one with 198,000, followed by China with 194,000 Bitcoin, and then the UK, Ukraine, Bhutan, and El Salvador. Those are the big hitters in the crypto space. Let's continue here. I think this is an older clip, but Michael Saylor says if the USA buys Bitcoin, its enemies will have to buy it back at $50 million a coin.
So, because we traded all this gold for all the European commodities and manufactured goods, the Europeans suffered a recession. America was built on the gold that the 49ers brought. So, this is the modern digital gold rush. We should just go grab the digital gold. Eventually, the rest of the world will trade all of their stuff for it, but when they buy it, they'll be buying it at 10 million a coin, or 20 million a coin, or 50 million a coin.
Yeah, basically getting into crypto, Bitcoin now, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you will be selling your coins for 10, 5, 10, 15, 30x from what you bought it at. Bitcoin, the USA and China honestly are getting in early, and you see now the public are getting early in with the ETFs, but it's just not smart to not get into it early. Here, Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to go higher because the value of fiat money is mathematically guaranteed to go to zero against Bitcoin. People who hold Bitcoin for years don't lose, unlike fiat. That's Matt Kaiser.
Now, back when Bitcoin was worth, a fraction of its current price, here on RT, in fact, I think one of the first to publicly endorse the cryptocurrency, you said it's going to break the $100,000 barrier. We did see that happen. So you are indeed the guru that I presented you as, though, of course, I have to say, financial disclaimer, these are not financial services, at least not professionally. Go out, do your research, speak to your own people. But the prices over the years have also dipped, and it's a bit of a roller coaster for people who are invested in Bitcoin. So just explain, why is it so volatile, and can anything be done, or do you expect it to stabilize in the coming term?
Right, well, it's made a move from 30 cents a Bitcoin, where we first mentioned it on RT back in 2010. It's, as you point out, it's now over $100,000 per coin. So that's going to naturally be a volatile, bumpy ride from 30 cents to 100,000. Anyone who's held Bitcoin for at least 4 years hasn't lost a penny. So you have to have a outlook of at least 4 years to own your Bitcoin, and there you are mitigating the volatility risk. But with Bitcoin, you're guaranteed an increase in purchasing power over time, whereas with fiat fiat money like the US dollar, for example, you're guaranteed a loss of purchasing power over time because the supply of fiat money is increasing by 15% on average globally. And in the US, that's approximately the rate at which it's increasing. That means every single year your purchasing power decreases by 15%. With Bitcoin, because it's a finite supply of 21 million Bitcoin, and that's never going to be any more Bitcoin, your purchasing power goes up relative to everything else that's being increased in supply, whether that's fiat money, even gold is increased in supply every single year, housing.
Yeah, basically, holding Bitcoin over the years will increase your buying power. Holding fiat currency with them printing new bills every year, no matter like as much as they need, they will print. Your money just gets devalued over the years with inflation. So it's obviously holding Bitcoin. You could hold any other cryptocurrency, but if you're in crypto, you should be holding Bitcoin, basically. The US just seized 127,000 Bitcoin, more than most nations hold in gold. Trump's new EO means it could theoretically head to the strategic Bitcoin reserve instead of auction. Wow. Yeah, DOJ seizes $15 billion in Bitcoin from massive pig butchering scam based in Cambodia. Bitcoin will reach between 300,000 and 500,000 this cycle. Predictions. Donald Trump's son, Barron Trump. Does he know something we don't? Probably. We'll keep scrolling. More Larry Fink. Jim Cramer says Bitcoin investors could lose anything. This is a bullish signal. Okay, continuing here. Yeah, here, breaking U.S. Republicans to introduce bill legalizing Bitcoin and crypto in 401ks today. $12.5 trillion in capital is coming. This is huge. Yeah, so much money is tied up in 401ks, and now most of that, or some of it, will be used in crypto, to buy crypto. BlackRock sells $300,000 worth of ETH. Wow. Probably factor in why it dropped so much. Okay. So we will continue to go live every week, but for now, make sure to stay tuned on our Blockchain Academics news site if you want to get a weekly or daily scoop of Bitcoin crypto news. We have a lot of stories coming out every day, multiple articles coming out every day. And now we have events. If you're looking for upcoming events, we have them all on our site here. See who's going and favorite where you're going to go. And you can plan out your trips here. Of course, and we have a new academy on the way. So keep your heads up for that. If you're looking to learn about crypto, or these are completely free courses, and we have Learn to Earns coming as well, where you can earn crypto just by watching free videos. Keep your eyes open for that. But yeah, make sure you subscribe. Your Blockchain Academics. Make sure you subscribe, and we will continue doing lives every week, a couple times a week, going over anything you guys are asking for. So see you guys next time.